Hey everyone! Recently in a lot of my readings, something that's been coming up is sneakiness and deception, um, maybe people not telling the whole truth. So I figured I would look into the specifics of that with three different piles. If you feel like you've been dealing with a situation like that, or whether you can trust someone or not, this would be the reading for you. So, starting off, we have pile number one, which is the big amethyst. Pile number one. We have pile number two, which is this quartz crystal. And then pile number three is this other crystal that I can't remember the name of. So that's number three. Okay. So, pile number one. Are you in some sort of deceptive situation? Let's see. Okay, wow. Yeah. It looks like it. Right away. And all... Ooh, was this reversed? Oh, I'm not sure if this one was reversed or not. I'm gonna just read it the way it is. Um, yeah, so the gazelle upside down, right away, that points to hypervigilance. So you are definitely suspicious that something's going on. Like, this tells me right away that like, if you look at this upright and you can see the ears up on this guy, very alert. Um, Sometimes this can speak to being hypervigilant when there's nothing to be worried about. But I feel like since I'm asking about this right now, I do think that something is going on, and let's look into this more deeply. All the cards are, except for one, are reversed, so um, where do I start? I am going to look at that gazelle card again and just get a little more insight into the details there. See if there's anything else important to know about that one. The gazelle. Heightened awareness and ability, vulnerable. So you might be feeling really vulnerable and nervous. You could have insomnia, you could be stuck in your head. It's like worrying about predators, like the hypervigilance of being worried about predators around you. Um, and what this is recommending is get yourself into some sort of safe surroundings where you feel comfortable so that you can get grounded, because I feel like you're very ungrounded and you're very nervous about what's going on. We have Nellis, the Alchemist. This is a really lovely card, but this is also reversed. I'm going to look up the details on this. I think this has to do with, being magical. It's sort of like the Magician. But again, I don't remember what the reverse meaning is, so let's see. Like, I don't see the specifics of what the deception is in your situation, but there is definitely something not great going on. Okay, Nellis the Alchemist. Inner transformation and irrevocable change. So something that's changing that is just gonna stick when it changes. You may be getting in Nellis's way as she does her work. To put it bluntly, you may be the main obstacle in your own path. It may be necessary to transform attitudes and behaviors. She will first approach you with tact and a kindly fairy warning, pointing out an alternate path you might try. At this point, it would be well to begin actively cooperating with her and her energy of alchemical transformation. That is quite a hefty fairy wand she carries, and I'm sure it isn't just for decoration. I asked her about that, but only got an outrageous grin in reply. Okay, so... This could speak to you being hypervigilant, but nothing is going on? I mean, the feeling that I got when I first looked at this was like, ooh, this looks bad, but if you're in the way of Nellis trying to do her job, there's some way that you're blocking yourself. We have here Nine of Cups, which is a wish unfulfilled. So something didn't come through that you wanted. Some happiness isn't there, or that could just be meaning that you're unhappy right now. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which has to do with tending a garden and waiting. Like, it's not time yet to harvest what you want. So this is like building resources, money, building on some project that's not finished yet. And then we have the Four of Swords, which the Four of Swords reversed, which when it's upright has to do with like taking time to rest, and take care of yourself, and to kind of, it's not like the Hermit is a little bit more of going by yourself to look actively in yourself to understand something, like looking for inner wisdom. It's a more active, isolated card. This is not active. This is like resting. It can have to do with meditation and contemplation, but it's still like more of a passive thing. But it's upside down, so you maybe you're not doing that. Maybe you're not resting. And especially with this kind of energy, the Gazelle is very anxious. You're anxious and you're not resting, and you might be working on something, but it hasn't come to fruition. But you're getting in your own way somehow. You're getting in your own way. Hypervigilance. I'm going to pull one more card for you because I can't tell if there's really a reason that you should be anxious or not. There might not be. Like, this might be not a real threat. The Green Woman reversed. You're getting in the way of your growth. You're getting in the way of your growth. 23. Maybe you're afraid to trust someone. Because that's what the question was about some sort of deception, or if you can trust someone. Maybe you're not trusting someone that you can trust, and it's stopping you from growing. Yeah, growth is stunted. So in its destructive mode, the energy of growth goes wild. But we can't stand still. We have to grow. So I think it's funny. I want to rewind. The first thing when I looked at this was like, oh yeah, you're definitely worried about something real. But no. I think you're hypervigilant about something that's actually not bad. You just have trust issues. I think this is trust issues. And I'm not seeing court cards here, so I don't have any specific personalities. But either a situation, like it might have to do with work. The Pentacles might have to do with work. In a work situation, you're not trusting. In a creative situation, you're not trusting. You don't think you're going to be happy. You don't think it's going to work out. There's a lot of doubts here. But Nellis, she's upside down, but if you turn her upside right, she's trying to help you manifest what you need. So I think you need to trust Nellis. Even if you don't feel like you can trust the people around you for whatever reason, you can trust her. And she's trying to help you transform. So you need trust, actually. Whatever situation you're in, you need to like kind of surrender to it and trust it. Because if you just trust it, or you trust a person, if it's a person, yeah, you can trust them, you're just afraid to because you have trust issues. So it's actually okay. You can trust the person or the situation and try to surrender to it and move forward, because it's about transformation, and you'll end up in a better spot than where you are if you just let go and go with this. So this is actually, you're worried and you don't need to be. This is okay. Trust this. So yeah, that's pile 1. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell, and you'll get notified about new readings. I have a Facebook, I have an Instagram, donate to my PayPal. It's all in the description box. That's pile number 1. Thanks for watching. Okay, pile number 2. Quartz crystal, that's you. Are you dealing with deception? Can you trust someone or the people around you? Ooh, it's interesting. This card right away. Illusions. Illusions, confusions. Oh my goodness, Faf the Footer is here again every time. I've picked this little guy so many times lately. It's upside down, as he often is upside down. That means you're not grounded. Not grounded at all. So you're anxious too. There's someone you do not think you can trust. I believe it's a specific person because it's the King of Cups upside down. I'll show you the King of Cups. Jon Snow, but upside down. So, King of Cups is the Scorpio card. So, Interesting that Scorpio came up when we're talking about trust and deception, because Scorpios are very suspicious. They do not trust people at all. It takes a really long time for Scorpios to gain trust with someone. And once they do, they're very loyal. But also, if you backstab a Scorpio, they will hold a grudge and remember it forever. And even if they don't take revenge, Scorpios like to at least think about taking revenge if they're wronged, because they really are all in if they decide to trust someone and care about someone. So when they get wronged, they take it really seriously. So, you know, you're in confusion about this person. It might be you that's the Scorpio, it might be them. Or it could be both of you. That's totally possible. You could both be Scorpio people. And so you could be both doing this, by the way. You could both be not sure if you should trust each other. I don't know if this means you can't trust them or if you just aren't sure. So I'm going to look more into the rest of this. You do have a bunch of reverse cards, though. The last reading had a lot of reverse cards, too, so... You have the camel reversed. So I'm going to look that up. There's a moon there, and the moon usually has to do with confusion and deception, not knowing the whole story. And when we have that, and we also have the Seven of Cups that has to do with illusion and confusion, not knowing which way to go, there may be something going on here. So I'm going to look up the camel. Camel's a fire sign. Desert animal. Makes sense. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry when you have to wait for me to look at things in the book and find them. Oh, camel. Resourceful, independent, knows oneself. So if this is upside down, maybe you don't feel like you know yourself. Can also mean you're dehydrated. Maybe you should drink water. That's always a good idea, especially if you're ungrounded, because Faf is here, Faf the footer, holding his feet. You should probably drink water. You aren't grounded. You need to get your feet on the ground. And you can do that by even doing what Faf is doing here. Massaging your feet is good. Breathing exercises, anything that helps with anxiety. You gotta bring yourself down into the ground. Get your spirit back in your body. Which, if you're ungrounded, this dreamy stuff can come along with that too. You could be like kind of lost in confusion because you're ungrounded. The camel can handle absolutely anything, as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. Self-reliant, handles challenge with ease. So maybe you're not feeling like you're handling this challenge very well if this is distorted. Camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. Represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance. Fire and water. Okay, that's very interesting. Camel is a wonderful traveler and especially is fond of trips to faraway lands. You also have the Ace of Wands upside down. And that the Ace of Wands is usually moving forward and starting something new. But this isn't a good start if it's upside down. I feel like this King of Cups, this is next to the King of Cups. I feel like this King of Cups person maybe isn't so trustworthy. When I first looked at this, I didn't necessarily get the feeling that it was for the person that would be watching this, but for the other person. So yeah, I feel like there is a Scorpio type person. They might not be a Scorpio. They just might be someone who's very they're not forthcoming with their emotions. They don't tell you how they're feeling. Like they're just it's like the still waters run deep. Like they probably have a lot of feelings, but they're not forthcoming with them. You don't know where they stand. And you're anxious about it. And I feel like that's affecting how you feel about yourself. So yeah, I do think in your case, this King of Cups is being deceptive. does not have to, these like king, queen, whatever, it doesn't have to do with gender. It's just about the qualities, which is kind of why I associate it a little more with the zodiac signs, because even if you're not that sign, those types of qualities, like darker, brooding people, people that are more keeping to themselves, or at least emotionally they do. Even if they're a social person, you don't really know what their true feelings are all the time. I think I'm going to pick a clarifier for you too. I picked a clarifier for the last person. Okay, we got the Bodacious Bodak. And I actually think that will give us some information. I can't remember the details of him, but I feel like that will help us. Let's see. Meddling, tampering, sabotage. Yup. Okay, you're right. This person is no good. Or at least no good for you. I don't have anything here about specifics to, is it a family member, is it a coworker? We have the Seven of Cups here, but that's the only cups we have. Okay, so this is about someone meddling who even might think that they're helping you, but they're not. They're meddling uninvited. See if you can work out who it is and begin to untangle this messy web they have woven of confusion and disorder. Confusion and disorder and misunderstanding. It will take firmness to get this person to keep his sticky fingers out of your affairs. Or keep yours out of the affairs of others. But I don't think that's the situation for you. The amount of tact you use in sorting this out is up to you. But the Bodak type person doesn't usually notice hints. Remember, whoever it is says they mean well. They may even believe that. It's just very hard to believe that the Bodak's bad results are always just an accident, as he insists. He may believe this, but we don't have to. The word sabotage comes to mind. If you don't want the Bodak hanging around looking for ways to help, make sure you don't leave things in the wrong place or dangle any loose ends. He might find some bodacious things to do with them. So yeah, protect yourself. Do not, this is like a non-starter. Don't do anything, start anything, talk to this person. Keep this person at a distance. They are sabotaging you whether they are trying to or not. So, yes, if you are thinking of someone that you might not be able to trust, no, you can't. There's your answer. I gotta move on because I have one more pile, but yep. Protect yourself. Alright, pile 2. I hope that resonated. Like, share, subscribe. All my information is in the description box. Donate to my PayPal. Email me for readings. Okay, pile 3. Pile 3. Let's see. Ooh, okay, wow. Fairy Guide. This is interesting. This is actually a very powerful card, even though it's like not specific to which guide it is. And we even have that next to the Judgment card. So this is very spiritual. This is like spirit guide related. Whoever's looking at pile number 3, your guides are here and really, really trying to give you a message right now. We have the King of Spears, which is the King of Wands. That could be you, that could be someone else. This is a Leo card. Leos are very they're like performers. I always think of this as the celebrity performer, very outgoing, charismatic, leader, full of self-love, full of confidence. They also are usually really good at like gassing up their friends and complimenting their friends, and they can be great in that way as well. It's not always like just about self-involvement. True individuals. So see if that sounds like you or another person that you're not sure if you can trust. With these really spiritual cards right here, I feel like... hold on, I feel like there's probably something really good here. But we do have some reversals, so... let me look this up. We have the buffalo upside down. This is the second time. I feel like the last video I did, someone had the buffalo upside down too. Interesting. Earth card, upside down. You might be an earth sign, you might have earth in your chart, maybe not, but I just throw that out there because that's here. Grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. Yes, the buffalo is like taking spirituality down into earth. And since we have the judgment here, and we have your fairy guide, yeah, that's big. I wonder why it's upside down. Restless, lacks gratitude, trusting every turn. So you're not trusting something. You are not feeling like you can trust someone. And I don't know if they are the King of Spears, King of Wands, or if that's you. We also have the World upside down, which has to do with completion of a cycle, but it's upside down, so something is not complete. I keep having to clarify these readings today. It's interesting that I'm trying to do readings about deception and it's the information isn't very forthcoming. Judgment has to do with a big spiritual awakening. And it can have to do with making a decision as well, a big judgment on something important. But this is usually like your spirit guides are here and they are moving you up to like another level spiritually. And with your fairy guide here, I would say that's definitely happening. So if you aren't trusting your spirit guides, you should. Like, this is funny. This may not be a physical person or a physical situation. This is like trusting your spiritual guidance. And that can be really, really difficult. I've had a lot of trouble with that myself, trusting your spiritual guidance, especially even if you're getting good messages about things that are good that are going to happen. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't really feel like that's where you're going. But in this case, I think that, yeah, you're just afraid of the signs that you're getting. And I'm going to pick one more card. I've had to clarify all of these readings, so you get one too. Wow, okay, the Singer of Connection. So this is about relationships. Singer of Connection. This is a blessed connection. So it's so funny that I did these readings to try to see if someone was being untrustworthy. But you can trust this person. If you're worried about if you can trust them, you can. You totally can. This is a blessed connection. I mean, this is like spiritual guide, spiritual guidance, and then Singer of Connection, which even look at those two cards. There's a similarity there. The way the wings go. Whatever person or situation you're asking about, yes, trust it, yes. And I feel like it's not over. Maybe you thought something was over, but it's not. And you couldn't trust it and you couldn't move forward, but you can actually. It is okay to trust this person. I don't know if you're the Leo or if they're the Leo, but you can trust this person. And this is like such a spiritual connection. I might read some more about this one while we're here, just because that card's so awesome. Those cards are like angels. And like, even though the buffalo's upside down, I think that's just because you're not listening, or you it's too good to be true, or there's something about whatever's happening to you spiritually that's you don't trust. You just aren't trusting the signs. You're not trusting your intuition. And it has to do with the person. Oh wow, I opened straight to the page! I didn't have to search for it. That's so cool. Spiritual connection, balance, empathy. Through the power of this singer, all connections, they're all called singers, by the way, these beings that are kind of like angels, that's what they call them. All connections are made, held, and released as appropriate. In a reading, this singer indicates the connection of things, especially reconnecting those that have been sundered. So if you were disconnected from someone, and you don't feel like you can trust them, you actually can. It's a spiritual connection. It's okay. It is unifying and reunifying. It tells us that we need to be aware of the connections between different aspects of the issue under discussion, as well as the connections between the people linked by it. So you have to look at the connections in the situation as well as the relationship connections. We also may need to build more connections, a network of mutual support. The presence of the singer of this connection in reading indicates support and strength flowing through the connections between those involved. Spiritual connection! I wasn't even expecting something this powerful. Yeah, whoever you're thinking of, this is really not only like, yeah, can you trust them, but you really should. Like, seems like a really important step forward for you in your life. Your guides are like, this is like your personal fairy guide, spirit guide. Like, they're here and they're like, yes, trust this situation, trust this person. So that's kind of cool. Um, you don't have to worry. You're good. So, thanks for listening. Like, share, subscribe, email me for readings, donate to my PayPal, check out my Facebook, check out my Instagram. All of that's in my description box. And thanks for watching.